Let's work together to make the world a better place for everyone. Companies should start giving training on office politics to their talented employees so that they can learn how to survive and perform in a toxic work environment. Okay, but why don't we also try to make an attempt to fix these toxic work environments? You think? And by the way, Comic Sans on LinkedIn is insane! Hey everyone, Noble Xenon here, and welcome to LinkedIn Lunatics! This is the place where your coworkers and bosses may have gone a little bit nuts. Let's get started. So, peak productivity unlocked today. Took meeting while getting a haircut. The staff were the sweetest to stop music while I took the meeting. Startups are not for everyone. The only time you get when you're not working is while you're sleeping. We may have just found the most productive individual to ever live! But seriously, what are you gonna get from bragging about overworking? You might want to take a break once in a while. You know, let them cut your hair. You don't have to be productive 24/7. And now, quoting others can be rewarding sometimes. Appreciation is priceless. A boss's thank you can be way more rewarding than a pay raise sometimes. Sorry, but thank you doesn't pay the rent. Also, the dude quoted himself. Now, LinkedIn is for business professionals. Please like my picture. Please look at me. Please give me attention. I want likes. I want clicks. I want to be famous. Look at me, please. And now the Twitter employee who tried to normalize and justify sleeping in the office got fired. Wow. Even the Musk loyalist who slept in the office wasn't spared in the latest Twitter layoffs. And this wasn't just anyone, this was the head of Twitter payments, laid off with about 50 other employees. When you need something from your boss at Elon Twitter, sleeping in the office. When your team is pushing around the clock to make deadlines, sometimes you hashtag sleep where you work. When Elon doesn't care about your loyalty, so he fires you anyway. The only way you hashtag sleep where you work is if you're working from home. And now Belgium becomes the latest country to introduce the 4-day work week, also gives the right to employees to ignore their boss after work. Listen, work hours are work hours. What can I say? Yet these individuals are like, no wonder the West is witnessing such a bad recession, and now in the UK we are witnessing such severe shortage of fruits, vegetables, groceries that stores are rationing it. And you know why? People in most of the countries in the West do not want to work hard. They depend on the migrant workforce, immigrants, and since now they are facing shortage of such workforce, they are facing acute shortage of even the most essential goods. In many countries in Europe, you find people crowding bars and pubs from 5 in the evening and whiling away their time. They do not want to work and enjoy life. I'm totally against this concept of working 4 or 5 days a week. Everyone should be working all 7 days a week. Every day is part of the life cycle, then why work for just 4 days? Can a farmer say that he will work just 4 days in a week? Can a factory worker say that he wants to work only 4 days in a week? Can your maid or house help say she wants to work only 4 days a week? It is time the West mend its ways or it will be doomed sooner rather than later. Yes, overwork everyone down to the bone. People are not these machines who can work 24/7. They need time to rest and time to relax and time to work on themselves. Because guess what? Their jobs are not the only thing people work on. The height of stupidity. What type of culture building is this? A culture with proper work-life balance. If it happens in Italy after 2 months, employees will ask for a 3-day work week. Now what happens when even the companies themselves don't want to go back after they switch over? In this pilot study by advocacy group 4-Day Week Global, employees reported a variety of benefits, and company revenue somehow increased 35% on average? What? But no, let's just overwork everyone. Because they don't have enough work for 7 days, whereas in India have 14 days work in 7 days. We are growing. Those who don't want to grow should take citizenship of Belgium. I personally believe it's a wrong step by the Belgian government because 5 days working and 2 days off is the perfect ratio between work and rest, but 3 days off? That will reduce the productivity of the employees and also of the whole organization. I see the GDP of this country. They don't want to grow in lazy people. 2 days off per week is more than sufficient. It's one thing to be a hard worker and have good work ethic. It's a whole nother to do stuff like this and expect everybody to work as much as you. Rage applying, the new quiet quitting. Rage applying has become one of the year's hot new workplace trends, notes the World Economic Forum. As workers gain leverage in growing job markets like the US and Canada, more are abruptly mass applying for jobs, driven by frustration with their current employers. So what can businesses do to prevent it? Understand what motivates individual workers and what they value before setting out new policies, Inc. suggests. What is it with all these buzzwords and trends lately? Like we have quiet quitting, rage applying, which by the way just sounds like people looking for a job change, which is completely normal. Yesterday, I embarked on one of my toughest challenges yet, getting enough sleep. It sounds silly, but for most of my adult life, I've only gotten 4 or 5 hours per night consistently. I'm sure my lack of sleep has contributed to several negative experiences, such as weight gain, burnout, lack of focus, etc. So I am on a mission to change. My first step is to get 7 hours of sleep for 7 days consecutively. Wish me luck, #change and #sleep. Well, honestly, sounds like a good change to better your mental health. I'm not even sure why this is on here. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, then why not like, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell? This next one is titled, "My family is more important than work, but let me bring my daughter into work and make her sit at a desk for 8 hours while she's having a tough day." My daughter was having a tough day yesterday, so she came to work with me. It was that simple. Someone asked me what people would think, how I'd explain her presence. My response was, people would think my family is more important than my work, and I'm okay with that. I hope they also think that if they need to prioritize their family, they would be in a safe space to do that in this office. But you would still be working. Proud to be part of building a culture at Arcadis that allows me the flexibility to be a leader and a mother. It's not always easy to strike that balance, and I don't always get it right, but I'm working on it. Trust me, I am. And Notoriously 909 says, "Sucks your super awesome job doesn't let you have a sick day to care for your child." Oh, the poor girl. For this next one translation, I interviewed a guy who realized how bad I treat my employees, so now I stalk him. Holy shit. A while back I interviewed someone who had a really good resume. It was an enjoyable conversation, yes. They said they had heard really good things about our company and the quality of people that worked there. They declined an offer and said it was because they didn't want to work as hard as they understood LaSallians do. I saw they were recently laid off from a company where they didn't have to work as hard. That's the story. Also, I'm not gonna lie, LaSallians has got to be one of the cringiest names I've ever heard for a group of people. These CEOs have to understand that people are just fed up with being overworked. And now, bro, what the hell? 2022, asking your Tinder match for pictures of her feet because you're a weirdo. 2023, asking your Tinder match for pictures of her feet because you just want to make sure she's not an AI. AI has changed the dating game forever. Laughing emoji. What? If you like this, join Superhuman, my weekly newsletter that teaches you how to leverage AI to boost your productivity and accelerate your career. I will not, thank you. Though honestly, that is one way to get attention for your newsletter. And now, yes, I love wasting an hour of my day. So nice. Commutes can create work-life balance. Incremental movement while strapped in your car and framed by hundreds of other grumpy drivers can be good for you? What? Sort of. Researchers suggest a commute can help brains shift from work to home mode, something that cannot happen when moving from the home office to the couch, especially if the home office is the couch. The average round-trip work commute is 52 minutes, providing workers with what researchers call liminal space to diffuse from the day and clear their heads. Oregon lawmakers are debating whether to pay travel costs for state workers living far away who need to visit the office for occasional in-person meetings. Now, what they fail to mention here is that there are other ways to create that separation. You don't exactly need to sit in traffic for an hour or more. You can just go out for a walk after work, do a little bit of working out, run some errands, or even meditate to clear the mind a little. And now, I let a kitten die in the cold, and that's why you should never be comfortable. #finance, #success, #working mom. My kitten froze to death. This was several years ago, during a winter much like this one, below zero temperatures, icy roads, school closures, etc. We had outdoor cats, including a litter of kittens that was a couple months old. One of said kittens found warmth by sitting at the dryer vent. Because it blew out moisture, the poor kitten froze. We found her before she died, but it was too late. She died within minutes of us bringing her inside, despite our best efforts to dry and warm her. The past 3 years have been tumultuous. With all the uncertainty, it's tempting to sit wherever we feel the most warmth. But what we don't realize is, the warmth is a trap. If we stay there, we won't survive. It's time to reach out to someone who can help. Someone who can bring us out of the cold, to where it's safe, warm, and dry. Hashtag finance, hashtag coaching, hashtag success, hashtag help, hashtag working mom. Oh my god. I really hope this story was made up just for the sake of making this analogy, as messed up as it may be, because if this is real, this individual's mind needs to be examined. And now a little bit of satire. As a manager of hundreds of employees, it's my job to get the absolute best possible performance out of each and every one of them. That's why I started invoking the bug. What is the bug, you may ask? More like who? The bug is an ancient and unspeakable horror, a beast beyond comprehension, whose true name cannot be spoken. I use the bug as a means of motivating my employees when they've been underperforming, misbehaving, or even taking too many toilet minutes. Oh no, not the toilet minutes! Using the bathroom on company time! Oh, the horror! Some real-life examples. I saw an employee spending a little too much time in the break room, so I said, best get back to work, I hear the bug is about. An employee logged his 8th toilet minute in a single work week. As I was signing off on his toilet minute log, I casually said, wow, you're really lucky. When he asked why, I said, the bug usually comes to visit those who toilet for more than 7 minutes a week. Everyone knows the 8th minute is the minute of the bug. Another employee asked me if the sun was real. He's been growing very curious about the outside world, and I've told him multiple times that his questions aren't productive. I screamed directly at him to return his cube or risk the bug's vivisection. All of these employees didn't just improve their performance, they now live in fear, and better still, they know that their manager cares about them. How are you making use of the bug in your workplace? Ah, what a beautiful piece of satire right here. Just the perfect representation of those over-managing, managers, I guess. But how much are you gonna bet that there are some people actually taking notes? Toilet minutes? Very interesting idea to bring even more over-management into the office. I'll write this down. And now I think this legally fits the definition of harassment. This dude is the love and leadership guy, the #1 LinkedIn motivator, and a 2-time author, presumably of motivation and self-help books. It had taken 8 to 10 phone calls a day, Monday through Friday for 8 whole months, and he finally picked up the phone after so long. Thanks so much for answering. Please don't hang up, but can you give me a second? Sure, he said. I pulled the phone away from my face and screamed, let's go! Heck yeah! Dude, sit down. Sorry about the excitement. I've been calling every day in the hopes of this moment right here. I had been told by some older reps that getting a meeting with this company was impossible. It wasn't. It just took a different attitude. It took a different level of effort. Yeah, the effort of calling over and over again every single day. Just insane behavior. Don't let what others see as impossible define your future. That company became one of our best packaging companies. I got to serve incredible people like Ricky here. What's holding you back from doing everything it takes to serve your customers? Hashtag packaging industry, hashtag sales coaching, hashtag love leadership, hashtag distribution, hashtag way too many calls. Now, at least make your motivation posts accurate. It's President's Day. Here's our quote from our first president. 99% of failures come from people who make excuses. George Washington. Are you going to be in the 1% or the 99% this week? 99% of failures come from people who make excuses, except that quote was not from George Washington, the president, but rather agricultural scientist George Washington Carver, one of the most prominent black scientists of the early 20th century. And now it's dystopian that I don't get to micromanage my workers and other anti-work from home gems on LinkedIn. I think that people who work from home are largely goofing off, have low productivity. If it were my money invested in the business, I would want everyone in the office mixing, talking, listening, co-creating, innovating, problem-solving, and looking each other in the eye. I have achieved very little on my own. I would prefer us not to create some massively dystopian and unequal society where some get to work and some get to sit in the kitchen watching Kay Burley and Holmes under the hammer in their gym jams. What if they are working hard? What if they are being productive and doing what they need to do in their job? Are you still gonna call them lazy? Hey man, if commuting was a bad thing, it wouldn't have worked so well for the last, 2,000 years? There is value in getting out of your man cave, driving to work, grabbing a coffee on the way, and so on. Yeah, there's a certain cohort of people who like to work alone and do their best work that way, and there's geo-talent arbitrage at play because Loom and the internet. By and large, people live being around other people. That's how society has functioned for so long. And someone else replies, so what's good about that? Waste of time and money. For several years, people considered washing hands as faux pas in hospitals. Was it also a good approach? Just because it's the way things are doesn't mean things are perfect. Being in the office is better for some people. Working from home is better for others. If it's possible to do a job from home, then give people that option. If commuting is a waste of time, so no going out to malls, movies, restaurants, shopping, and a big no-no to travel, I guess blanketing the work-from-home comfort under not wanting to waste your life commuting is a very tangent and illogical reason. Making an effort to getting to where you earn your living from can't be a waste, eh? Oh, and this next commenter kept it real simple. No remote! Got 5 likes from that. And now manager sends ex-employee an unhinged LinkedIn message at 4 a.m. Wow, it's a shame to think that you've turned into the kind of person that you have. I always detected a selfish and opportunist side when you interned for me back in 2017, but for you to actually ignore a message from a former superior is beyond low. I wasn't messaging to beg for anything. I was simply congratulating you and you've ignored me. I hope you're part of the Google layoffs and may karma treat you deservingly both personally and professionally. Laughing emojis. Way to be professional there. I would not want to work for the person who sent that message. Oh lord. And now what sort of scheme is this? First, I want to know what a kindness recruiter is. Get a US job, apparently. Do you want to make 100 to 500 new connections this weekend? Then join thousands of people every Saturday in Social Saturday. Like and comment below to get 100 new connections today. I can't imagine you'd get the best connections this way. Sure, it'll get your numbers up, but are they really gonna help you otherwise? And now apparently asking about compensation for an open job is a bad first impression. If you are hashtag open to work or hashtag unemployed and your first response to a message is what the compensation is and or the position is remote, good luck to you. Hashtag leverage and hashtag networking are achieved through communication and interactions whether or not you are hashtag exhausted or hashtag feeling frustrated. Compensation is objective and negotiable. Impressions and opportunities are not. It's not like where will I work and how much will I get paid are two of the most important and relevant questions. I ordered clam chowder with dinner. It came with oyster crackers, as it should. My husband rolled his eyes hard and muttered that we're gonna be here a while. I chose to ignore his not-so-silent judgment. I'm not sure how he doesn't understand that part of the joy of eating soup with oyster crackers is breaking the crackers open and making them into tiny bowls that you then fill with soup. Why else would you get bowl-shaped crackers? I mean, come on. I was very clear about how quirky I am when we met, and no takebacks. What quirky-ish do you do? So quirky. Sounds like someone who is treating LinkedIn like Facebook. And now what? Hashtag events. This is the previous time in the UK when my husband took my picture. A turn of events has passed 2 years. Also became, we divorced 2 years anniversary. Now I just want to focus on my work well. Will not be involved in then feelings on things. Hashtag events. What? Is this AI generated? Just using the photo of a woman found on the internet? Cause this makes zero sense whatsoever. And speaking of AI generated, when you just hear someone say a new word and it sounds deep, humans are an API to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an API to Python. Python is an API to C. C is an API to assembly. Assembly is an API to binary. Binary is an API to physics. Physics is an API to the machine that runs the universe. It's computation all the way down. Whoa. And now burned out? You're lazy. Simple. Burnout is not a product of overworking. It is a product of procrastination. Picture this. When you're procrastinating, you're not taking action, but in your head the task is an open loop. This loop, unless closed, keeps taking mental energy from you. This causes mental fatigue, aka burnout. But do you know what else causes burnout? Overwork! Your will to work, liking of the task/job, and energy to execute have burned out. It comes full circle when we realize that people procrastinate out of fear and laziness. Fear that they won't be able to do the extraordinary laziness to do the work it takes to match the reality to the version in their head. What? The more I go through these, the less these posts make sense. The only way to tackle burnout is by taking action with realistic expectations, by closing the loop. Yes, the cure to burnout caused by work is by working more. Genius. That is just gonna make things worse. And now an Elon simp says firing employees is like removing things from an old house. Elon Musk is not firing a lot of people. He has recently acquired Twitter and he has all the rights to restructure the team the way he wants. He has already managed many companies and he might already have a solid team who can take over Twitter. I think he has already figured out what is required and what is not required. It's bad luck for all the employees who got impacted just because of the acquisition. What Mark Zuckerberg has done is firing. He has built the company from scratch. If you buy an old house, it's you who would decide if you wish to remove some of the things you didn't like, and that's perfectly fine. But if you build a house from scratch, and later you remove some of the things you didn't like, then it was a decision issue. What do you think about it? Is Musk a cruel CEO? Hashtag Twitter, hashtag Fang, hashtag software engineering, and hashtag team. People like this sure do love justifying everything Elon Musk does because he's some kind of genius, apparently. Also, people are not furniture. It is not at all like buying an old house. And now, finally, some honesty. Ethan says, I am excited to announce that I don't have an internship. Ah, thank you, very cool. And now you gotta find a way to stand out. Accomplishments. 1. Test scores. Blood pressure 124/82. Blood pressure on LinkedIn. Now I have seen it all. And now for this next one. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I was on a hiring team to hire a mid-level data analyst at a healthcare company. We had a candidate who had no experience and no domain knowledge, but he had a good attitude and a good personality, and guess what? We didn't hire him. We honestly just had better candidates who already knew the skills we were looking for and had domain knowledge. Hope he's out there doing well though, he was a good guy. Now this is the kind of post we should be seeing on LinkedIn. A perfectly reasonable response and not a LinkedIn lunatic. Ooh, we may have found the final boss of LinkedIn. We've got a CPA, CIA, CMA, CFE, CFM, CFC, FMVA, CBCA, CFI, partner. This dude is getting all kinds of certifications like if they're achievements. Instructor of CPA, CMA, CIA, IFRS, CFE, FMVA, Risk, AML, Compliance, Tax Governance, and Consultant. CFI Institute Partner and Region Representative, IFC and CIMC, Institute MENA, and somehow there's even more. CPA, CIA, CMA, CFM, CFA1, CFE, CFC, CIPA, CIB, QIA, CFS, GCMA, Cert IFR, IA, SME, IPSIS, Cert BV, CRCMP, and FMVA. What? Well, you can say this person is a certified completionist. And now for this last one, the hero we deserve. I got rejected by Apple. I got rejected by Facebook. I got rejected by Google. I was jobless. I could have given up all hope, but I took it as a sign to take the leap of faith. So I started my own enterprise. Then I got rejected by the end consumer. Now I'm jobless and broke. Moral of the story, keep yourself hydrated. That doesn't make any sense. Neither do all the inspiring stories on LinkedIn people keep posting. Honestly, this made more sense than a lot of the things I saw today, so well done. Anyway, I'd like to thank all of my patrons, especially Amethyst Phoenix, Cringe McBiscuitbowl, Dark Garden, DJ, Jade Demby twice, interestingly enough, Catalan Cormetti Nightcrawler, Stormcloud the Wolf, and Vicmeister 1999. You can join in the link below, and if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, subscribe, subscribe if you want to see more. Turn on notifications with that little bell, and thank you so much for watching.